To begin working, you will need to log on. First, expand the ribbon if collapsed. Choose the gloss language. The gloss is the word-by-word translation. Choose from one of the available fonts. Press the Log On button. Enter your username and password and press the Log On button in the dialog. You should now see the web page displays editable gloss fields for each Hebrew word. The Hebrew interlinear display consists of the Hebrew word, the pronunciation, an English gloss, grammatical parsing information, the Strong's numbers, the Hebrew word root, and the gloss in the language you have selected. Below that is the verse in the gloss language and two notes fields. The first for just the translators to use for their own notes, and a second note field for notes that other people will see. If you click on the display line drop-down menu, then you can choose which of these lines you would like to see. So for example, I don't need to see the pronunciation or Strong's number. Enable All hides and shows all the fields without affecting your preferred choices. This can also be done using the Control-I shortcut key combination. You can change the size of the text by zooming in or out in any one of four ways. Either by using the zoom slider, or by pressing the Control key along with the mouse wheel, pressing the Alt key together with the greater than or less than keys, or with pinch zoom if you are on a device with a touch screen display or trackpad. From the navigation bar, you can use the mouse to choose a book, chapter, and verse, and press the Go button to display that verse. Or if you prefer to use the keyboard, the Escape key will also select the book drop-down and the Tab key cycles through to chapter and verse. Press the Enter key to go to that reference. In the gloss fields, the Tab key will move forward through the glosses without approving a gloss, and the Shift tab will move in the reverse direction. Control down arrow moves to the next verse and Control up to the previous verse. Pressing the play button will play the audio reading for this verse by Abraham Shmulov.
Bereshit bara Elohim et hashamayim.
You can change the speed of the playback with the speed slider.
Bereshit bara Elohim.
Finally, we get to glossing. I'm going to re-enable the interlinear lines by pressing the Control-I key combination. The website uses Google Translate to come up with an initial guess for the translation and indicates this in red. You can change this entry by typing a new gloss. Pressing the Enter key approves the translation and goes on to the next entry. This entry will now appear in black, indicating that this gloss has now been approved and saved. Any words in the current gloss that are present in the translation are shown in red in the translation to help find them quickly. If you have already approved the translation of a word in a different location, the translation will appear in blue. Pressing the down arrow key will show you a list of previously approved translations for this word in blue, as well as the suggestion by Google Translate in red at the bottom. You may use the up-down arrow keys to select one of these and press Enter to approve it. Looking at the glosses for this verse, I can see that the gloss for the word Vayhi is not correct. Clicking in the gloss to select it and keying the down arrow shows me that I have also glossed this word as Orjitaraha, which is the correct gloss for this context. Pressing the Enter key selects and approves this gloss. Once you are happy with all the glosses, you can press the Approve All button to approve all the glosses and move on to the next verse. If you want to find the next verse that needs to be glossed, you can use the Next Unapproved Verse button. There are two notes fields. The first is for the translators to make notes for themselves that only they will see. And the second field is for notes that the public can see, where the translators can explain translation decisions. After entering or editing a note, you can press the Save Changes button to save it, but it should also warn you when you go to the next verse that you need to save or discard your changes to notes. There are 3 types of reference information available for each word. Clicking on a Hebrew word will display a pop-up for the word showing all the interlinear lines in case you have hidden some lines. Holding the Alt key down and clicking on either the Hebrew word, the Strong's number, or the Hebrew root will display the Strong's information in a pop-up. Holding the Control key while clicking on one of these will display the more detailed Brown Drivers Briggs or BDB entry. In the BDB, hovering your mouse over a reference will show the verse text for that reference, and clicking the reference will go to that verse. Press the Ctrl-F key combination to bring up a dialog in order to search for a Hebrew word. Press the Ctrl-G key combination to search for a gloss. Press the F3 key to search forward for the next occurrence, and Shift F3 to search backward. You can choose Backup from the Action menu to create a zipped backup copy of all your work. I trust this short video will provide you with all you need to start working. Happy glossing!